economy and current affairs on Gradeup platform. I welcome you all a very good morning for daily current affairs. So today is 4th November. This is daily current affairs on Gradeup IAS YouTube channel. So let's start without wasting any more time. Good morning everybody, and let's start it. Okay? So today's first topic is Strategic Policy and Felicitation Bureau, SPFB. Why is this in news? This is in news because Ministry of Ayush and Invest India portal will form a collaboration to set up a strategic policy unit called Strategic Policy and Felicitation Bureau to felicitate planned and systemic growth of Ayush sector. Ayush sector is traditional medicine sector. Okay, that is Ayush is Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha and homeopathy. So this is traditional medicine method of treatment. This will be boosted with the Strategic Policy and Felicitation Bureau, which will be formed with the partnership of Ministry of Ayush and Invest India portal, which was created under the Make in India program. Okay. Good morning, Samir. Good morning, good morning. Now, let's talk about Strategic Policy and Felicitation Bureau. What is the aim? The aim is to felicitate systemic and planned growth in Ayush sector, traditional medicine sector. So Ministry of Ayush, which is Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, plans to set up a strategic policy unit to help reach out its full potential and stimulate growth and investment in this sector of traditional medicines. Okay, the activities to be undertaken by SPFB would be knowledge creation and management. So more knowledge will be created in traditional medicine and it will be managed, and strategic and policy making support will be given to this sector. Okay, moving on now. So a state policy benchmarking. So undertaking state policy benchmarking to formulate uniform guidelines, so that there are uniform guidelines and regulation which will govern this sector of Ayush in India will come up. Then investment felicitation will happen. So sorry, excuse me. So what will happen? Follow up and felicitation on investments in this sector would take place, so that there is more coordination among different department, organization and states when it comes to sectors related to Ayush, that is traditional medicine. Okay. Then if there are any issues which have come up, so issue resolution will also be focused upon. So Invest India would work with companies and other institutions on issue resolution across states and among subsectors. So issue resolution will be another topic which will be done. Next, this is what the strategic thing is. Now let's talk about the role of Ayush Ministry in increasing investment, bringing about regulation and rules to govern traditional medicine sector, which is Ayush sector. Okay, so Ministry of Ayush would assist the Bureau in responding to investment proposals, issues, queries, and funds Invest India for undertaking activities assigned. So all this would be done by Ayush Ministry. Ayush Ministry is the regulatory ministry for traditional medicine. Okay. I hope it is clear. Now, the ministry will also support Bureau in building links with various stakeholders such as industry associations, affiliate bodies of ministries and industry representation. So basically what it will do is Ayush Ministry will be the central ministry to coordinate efforts to liaison with different stakeholders in this traditional medicine sector and will be responsible for rules, regulation, and boosting investment in Ayush sector. I hope this is clear. Moving on. What is Invest India? See, Invest India is a portal, is a non-profit venture which was started in 2009 by DIPP, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So it is a national investment promotion and felicitation agency of India that acts as first point of reference for investors in India. So it is the Invest India portal which is the first point of contact if a foreign investor wants to invest in India. So for Ayush Ministry also, Invest India is partnering or collaborating with Ayush Ministry to propagate and to increase investments in Ayush sector of India. Okay, so this topic which we discussed was GS paper 3, GS paper 2, not 3, 2, health, and the source is PIB, Press Information Bureau. Now let's move on to the next topic. I hope this is clear to you. Now let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is new wage code bars bonus for those facing sex abuse charges. So people in the companies who are facing sexual harassment charges will not be given any bonus. So there is a bar, there is a restriction which has been kept now by the government on people who have been accused of sex abuse charges. So government is currently framing new wage code rule for those indulging in sexual harassment of any form. Okay, and could run a risk of losing out their bonus due to dues from their employees. So if I am an employee and I am facing sexual harassment charges, I face a risk of losing out my bonus, which has to be given to me by my employer. So I have to be very careful about my conduct at my workplace. So this new wage code is expected to become operational once the government notifies the rules. So it is to be notified by government. Next. So the provisions against sexual harassment in the new wage code are that the code says that the employee shall be disqualified from receiving bonus if he is dismissed from the service. Okay? For fraud and riotous and violent behavior while on premises of establishment or theft, misappropriation, sabotage of any property of establishment, and conviction of sexual harassment. So not just sexual harassment. If you are doing some fraud, if you are fighting with somebody at office, physical fight, that is some sort of a riot or fraud. Okay, then you will be denied your bonus. If you are carrying out any theft, a robbery, or if you are sabotaging the property of the establishment, then also you could be denied your bonus. And what is currently the law? This is what is proposed. What is currently the law? Currently, the law says that only reason for which bonus due can be stopped or barred are fraud, violent behavior, theft, misappropriation, sabotage, and violent conduct. This is already there. One new thing which has been added to it now in the new wage code is sexual harassment. So if a person is accused of now sexual harassment also, their bonuses will be denied. Okay. Now, what is the significance of it? As you know, we have a law which in 2009-13 which came in, which is Prevention of Sexual Harassment Law, which is based on Vishakha guidelines laid down by the Supreme Court. So this will make employees more careful in conduct and serve as an additional deterrent as a part of Prevention of Sexual Harassment Law in 2013. So what is more about this wage code? So it has amended and consolidated four labor laws relating to wages, bonuses, and related matter. What are these four laws which have been amended and consolidated? First is Payment of Wages Act 1936. Second is Minimum Wage Act 1948. Third is Payment of Bonus Act 1965 and Equal Remuneration Act 1976. As you know, Labor Code was passed in last session of Parliament this year. And in that labor code, one of the code is wage code, in which four of these laws have been amended and consolidated into one under the government's effort for labor reforms. Okay, moving on now. So it provides that all essential elements such as wages, equal remuneration, its timely payment, and bonuses should be paid to the employee. The minimum wage would be basic rate of wage, cost of living allowance, and cash value of concession. And skills, arduousness of work, geographical location, and aspects to fix it all will be thought of while deciding the minimum age. All these factors will be kept in mind in deciding the wage, minimum wage. Okay, both central and state government will fix minimum wage in their respective spheres. So central government will fix a minimum wage for the entire country, and state government can increase the minimum wage if they want to in their respective states. Now, the provision related to timely payment and authorized deductions applicable until now for employees drawing 24,000 per month will be applicable to all employees irrespective of wage ceiling, including those in government establishments. So now companies and government employees will not have delayed salary payments. And these authorized deductions which have been allowed by the government will happen for all the employees of all the companies and government employees. Okay, moving on now. A national floor level minimum wage will be set by central government and will be revised every 5 years, while state will fix minimum wage for their region, which cannot be lower than the floor wage. So central government, let's say, decides that the minimum wage would be rupees 500. This is an example angle. So central government decides this is the national floor minimum wage. Now states can change it, but that change does not mean that the minimum wage will go below 500. It can be 510, it can be 600. That can be done, but the minimum wage cannot go below 500 rupees if central government has put the minimum wage, national floor minimum wage as 500. Now, as in the wage code, sexual harassment has been added as a factor of denial of bonuses. So, it is an effort to implement sexual harassment prevention and prohibition and reduction of sexual harassment at workplace law 2013. So, this law, what is this law about? It widens the definition of aggrieved woman to include all women irrespective of ages, employment status, and it covers all client, customers, and domestic workers. So the definition has been extended. It expands to workplace beyond traditional offices to include all kind of organization across sector, even non-traditional workspaces. For example, telecommuting, okay, and places visited by employees for work. So sales team, if there is a sales team also, and uh, they go somewhere to the customer's place and they do certain sexual misconduct, they will be denied their bonuses under this wage code. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Moving on now. This law mandates the company should constitute, every company which has more than 10 workers should constitute an internal complaint committee, and states that action to be taken if companies do not form internal uh, complaint committee, and they have to form this, and filing of audit report, they have to file an audit report by the end of the year to the government, saying that how many complaints did they receive and what were the actions they took every complaint. In case the number of workers is less than 10, it is mandated under sexual harassment at workplace law to form a local complaint committee to address this issue of sexual harassment in these workplaces. Okay, and this law lists out the duties of an employer, like organizing regular workshop on sexual harassment. Awareness program should be carried out to educate employees about this sexual harassment act, so that such things should not happen in their working environment. Now, if an employee fails to constitute, if an employer does not form an internal complaint committee or does not abide by the rules which have been laid down under the sexual harassment law, which came out in 2013, which were based on Vishakha guidelines and Verma committee after Nirbhaya case, then they will be forced to pay a fine of 50,000 rupees. And if the offender is a repeated offender, then the fine of that offender gets doubled. Okay? Now, if an employer has been found as a sexual harasser for the second time, this will lead to cancellation and non-renewable renewal of his license. If he requires license, his license will be cancelled and not renewed if he is a sexual offender for the second time. Okay, I hope this is clear. This is GS paper 1, women empowerment. This is from the Hindu. Okay, now moving on to the next topic, Mission Sagar. Why is this a news? Recently, Indian naval ship INS Airawat entered port of Sudan with 100 tons of food aid as a part of Mission Sagar 2. So it is an aid mission of India to Sudan. Okay, moving on. So it follows the first Mission Sagar undertaken by India in May June, wherein India reached out to Maldives, Mauritius, Seychelles, Madagascar, and Comoros and provided food aid and medicine to these countries. Under Mission Sagar 2, Indian naval ship Airawat will deliver food aid to Sudan, South Sudan, Djibouti, and Eritrea. So Airawat in mythological was the elephant ride of God Indra. Okay, so this is the ship, naval ship, and they will provide food aid to Sudan, South Sudan, Djibouti, and Eritrea. Now, Mission Sagar 2 is in line with Prime Minister's vision of Sagar initiative, vision for security and growth for all in the region, Indian Ocean region, and highlights the importance accorded to India to the relation with her maritime neighbors and further strengthening existing bonds with its maritime neighbors by providing them food aid under Sagar 2 mission. Next, related information. What is Mission Sagar? Mission Sagar is security and growth for all in the region. It is the term which was coined by our Prime Minister in 2015 while visiting Mauritius, and it focuses on blue economy. Blue economy means economies which are based on oceans or seas. Okay, that is blue economy. So this is a maritime initiative which gives priority to Indian Ocean region for ensuring peace, stability, prosperity of India and Indian Ocean region states and countries. Okay, The goal is to seek climate of trust and transparency and mutual respect and respect for international maritime rules which have been laid down by global governance organization. And it also calls for sensitivity for each other's interest, mutual interest. And if there is a dispute, there should be peaceful resolution, mutual resolution of these maritime issues so that at the end of the day, these countries, along with India, should increase their maritime cooperation so that there is security, stability, and growth in this Indian Ocean region. And this is in line with the principle of Indian Ocean Rim Association. Okay, so this topic is GS paper 2, International Relation, Indian Express is the source. Moving on now. 24th edition of Malabar Naval Exercise. So, 24th edition of Malabar Naval Exercise is scheduled to take place in two phases in November 2020. The first phase of Malabar 20 involves participation of Indian Navy, US State Navy, Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force, and Royal Australian Navy. So, you know that US plus India plus Australia and plus Japan have created a grouping called Quad so that they can bring about stability in the South Asian region and East Asian region, Southeast Asian region, okay, against China. Okay, so an interesting fact about Quad is that one of the journalists, Shekhar Gupta, has called Quad as, in a Hindi colloquial term, China Pidat Desh. So people who are worried about Chinese expansionary policies, they have come together in this region and formed Quad so that security and stability and freedom of navigation in this area could be ensured. Now, second phase of Malabar, this first phase will be carried out in Bay of Bengal. The second phase of this Malabar exercise will be carried out in Arabian Sea in mid 2020s. Okay. Now, what is this Malabar exercise? Initially, this Malabar exercise is a trilateral three-country maritime exercise which was scheduled between the navies of India, Japan, and US. Now, Malabar series of military exercises commenced in 1992. 1992, between first India and US. It got permanently expanded in 2015 to include Japan. Now, additionally, Japan and Indian Defense Forces also carried out bilateral military exercises, military Navy and Air Force exercises. They are called GMEX, Shinyu, Maitri, and Dharma Guardian. And India and US also conduct joint military exercises apart from Malabar Naval Exercise, which is called Yuddha Abhyas. This is GS Paper 3, Defense, and the source is Press Information Bureau. Now, next, Asteroid 16, Psyche. So now what is Asteroid 16? Asteroid 16 is an asteroid. Recently, a study has found that asteroid 16, which orbits Mars and Jupiter, could be made entirely of metal and could be worth 10,000 quadrillion dollars, more than the entire economy of the Earth. Okay, the exact composition and origin of asteroid will be uncovered in 2022 when NASA sends an unmanned spacecraft to study this close up. So this asteroid is estimated to be 10,000 quadrillion dollars, which is way more than the entire economy of the Earth. Okay. Now, what is asteroid 16? It is located around 370 million kilometers away from Earth. It is one of the most massive objects in the asteroids belt of our solar system. Asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter. This is asteroid belt. Okay, and it was discovered for the first time on March 17, 1853 by an Italian astronomer Annibale di Gasparis and was named as against the Greek. This asteroid was found there in 1853 and was named after an ancient Greek god of soul, which is Psyche. Unlike most of the asteroids that are made of rock and ice, scientists believe that Psyche is dense and largely metallic object, thought to be the core of earlier planet that failed to form. So it is thought to be core of a planet which could not form, so it is revolving in the asteroid belt. Good morning, Pavas. I hope you are doing well. Now moving on. This estimate of 10,000 quadrillion dollars, where has this come from? So NASA scientists believe that asteroids is made up entirely of iron, nickel, and several other rare metals like gold, platinum, cobalt, iridium, and rhenium. So their estimation is, if you estimate amount of gold, nickel, platinum, cobalt, iron, nickel, and all that, it would turn out to be 10,000 quadrillion dollars. Hypothetically, if it were to be transported to Earth, NASA Psyche mission lead scientist Lindy Elkin Tanton has calculated that alone iron will be worth more than 10,000 quadrillion dollars. Leave aside nickel, gold, platinum, cobalt, iridium, and rhenium. Just iron will be 10,000 quadrillion dollar worth. So it is a big discovery. If for future it is a big discovery, so that if we require iron and we want to preserve iron on Earth and we can develop technology which can harvest or mine iron from these asteroids, then it will be useful for the world. So NASA plans to launch SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida to study Psyche asteroid. This is an unmanned mission which will reach the asteroid in 2026. The first objective of the mission is to capture photograph of metallic asteroid, after which the spacecraft will study and map it from a distance. Another objective of the mission is to determine whether the asteroid is in fact a core of an earlier planet with, or if it is merely made of an unmetalled material. It is a discovery mission. The mission originally was slated to take place in 2023, but later it was preponed to 2022. This is GS Paper 3, Science and Technology. The source is the Hindu newspaper. Moving on. Henan gibbon. So recently, the protection of Henan gibbon using the rope bridge was discussed. Okay, in 2014, when super typhoon Rammasun hit Henan Islands, landslide created forest gap up to 30-meter wide. This fragmented the habitat of gibbon, forcing them to dangerously leap across the passage. Gibbon are type of primates. Okay, now to avoid accidental injuries or death, a team of Hong Kong construction and canopy rope bridges across damaged bay in 2015. They created a canopy rope. Okay, so female Henan gibbon. These are Henan gibbons. Okay, moving on. So Henan gibbon are world most critically endangered primates. They are endemic to Henan Islands in China, and only about 30 of them remain on the planet. So they are critically endangered. Gibbon, like great apes like gorilla, orangutan, chimpanzee, and bonobos, are human-like, built with no tails. They have no tails. Various species of gibbon are divided into four genera: Hulock gibbon, Hylobates gibbon, Nomachus gibbons, and Symphalungus gibbons. Gibbons are arboreals and move from branch to branch with speed and great agility while swinging from their arms. Okay, so these are gibbons, they are critically endangered species. Now, gibbon, where are they found? They are widely distributed in rainforest and monsoon forest of Southeast Asia. But they are more and more under threat as forest habitat is being destroyed because increased human intervention anthropogenic factors. What do these gibbons eat? They thrive on fruit trees and their tropical range and are especially fond of figs. So they like figs. This is GS paper 3 environment. This the source is the Hindu and Smithsonian magazine. I hope this is clear. Moving on now. DG143G, mutation in coronavirus. Why is in this news? Coronavirus is dominating news everywhere. So one mutation called D614G has become dominant variant of global COVID-19 pandemic. What is mutation? Okay, mutation is changes in the original body of the anything, virus, bacteria, cells, anything. So mutation is the process when virus enters an individual's body as it aims to create copies of itself and makes error in copying process. So it rather than mirroring itself, it forms something else. Okay, about D614G mutation. Under D614G mutation, the virus replaced the aspartic acid D in 614 position of amino acid with glycine. So rather than aspartic acid, there is glycine. The mutated form of virus was first identified in China and then Europe. And this D614G mutation is situated in spike proteins of the virus. See, coronavirus has spikes. So this mutation happens in the spikes. It is present in the subunit S1 of protein and is also close to S2 subunit. So D614G mutation, which is defining mutation of clade A2 of the virus, is prevalent in India. So it is very important vis-a-vis India. Moving on now. So this is the mutation that loosens the spike protein. This is GS paper 3, Science and Technology, the Hindu newspaper. I hope you are following me properly. So this was today's daily current affairs. I hope you have understood it. Now before I end the lecture, please subscribe to Gradeup Super subscription. This provides unlimited access to all structured live courses and mock tests. You'll get structured live courses, 11 plus structured live courses and 60 plus mock tests. Here we'll cover full syllabus coverage will happen. Entire syllabus will be covered. You'll be taught by expert faculties. There will be complete doubt resolution. You will get performance and report card at the end of each class. Then we have various options for you. You can subscribe to 6 months plan, 12 months plans and 24 months plan. Okay. Now, we are conducting daily videos for you so that your preparation for UPSC 2021 can be helped by our team and us at Gradeup. So we are conducting daily current affairs on our Gradeup app at 9 p.m. Then daily editorial analysis at 12 p.m. NCERT and iOS IGNU quizzes we are conducting. Then weekly PIB analysis we are going to do. Then Gradeup Super quiz, which has important questions from Science Reporter, Down to Earth, EPW, that is Economic and Political Weekly, Frontline, Press Information Bureau, RSTV, Yojana, Kurukshetra, all we are conducting. Then what are our ongoing courses? Our ongoing courses are comprehensive course on GS pre-com mains, both Hindi and English. Then we are conducting a comprehensive course on mains examination 2020. Then EPFO 2020 comprehensive course on prelims we are running. Then we are running a complete NCERT module for English and Hindi for civil services examination. Next, what are our upcoming courses? Our upcoming courses are Economic and Social Development, Indian and World Geography, Environment and Ecology, Indian Polity and Governance, History of India and Indian National Movement, and General Science for IAS. Moving on. Every day we conduct free classes, free series classes on our Gradeup app. So what are we covering there? Every day we are covering an IAS 2021 series of important topics. Then daily editorial analysis at 12 p.m. Then UPSC month and daily current affairs Monday to Friday on 9 p.m. Apart from this, on the 4th of October, the UPSC preliminary examination was conducted. So we have been carrying out detailed subject-wise analysis and solutions for that UPSC Prelims 2020 exam which happened both for GS paper 1 and 2. So with this information, I will take your leave. Please subscribe, like, and share our Gradeup IAS YouTube channel so that we can reach out to more students like you guys. Thank you very much.